You probably missed the last couple of episodes where I camped in a freaking graveyard before rolling out the next morning to see some amazing Texas roadside attractions. But that's okay, you still have time to subscribe and make all your dreams come true. After the roadside attractions, I rolled towards South Houston and into this crazy subdivision behind a Roman aqueduct to stealth camp for the night. So it is 9 o'clock at night, and I am in League City, Texas. I'm having trouble holding focus with this camera. But yeah, I'm in a very busy, right outside a very busy intersection on the edge of a very posh. Let's turn this off, maybe that'll help. On the edge of a very posh neighborhood. Well, there's a lot of posh neighborhoods over here. This is actually a facade on a lake. I can't remember the name of this subdivision that I'm sitting on, but they're all very nice. League City is south. God, I've been so many places tonight, I don't really know. Here's the thing that you need to know. Major intersection over here. That's my motorcycle over there. I'll give you a flash. Yeah. Flash of light and the disaster that ensued. So I've gotten pretty good at seeing the places that would work completely, totally fine. So I drove around a lot tonight. Most of them just driving. I'm going, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. So I just keep going. And I saw this one buzzing down the highway here. And I thought, wow, there's a lot of trees back there. And I came back around and I was like, oh, okay. Well, but at the time there was a entrance to a pretty decent sized neighborhood back here. So I just, I kind of bided my time and just kind of nonchalant circled around, which is kind of hard to do on a motorcycle. Jam-packed with 400 pounds of gear on the back, but I did it. And then I waited for my opportunity, and then I jetted up this hill, pointed the other way, got up to the top of the hill, and I was going to hang my hammock in between that tree right there and that tree right behind my motorcycle. So I just figured I'd jet the motorcycle up, put the kickstand down, dismounted, and I was about to start pulling gear off, and the damn motorcycle fell over. So upside down, downhill. And the worst thing, tomorrow I will tell you the rest of the story. Besides broken motorcycle bits, I think the thing's still operational, but I've got broken pieces of plastic and mirror and stuff, so I haven't fully assessed because I'm trying to stealth camp here tonight, and it's a really awesome spot. Other than this incredibly busy intersection, this is an amazing spot. Anyway, I just wanted to capture some of the frustration. So I set my hammock up. I'm ready to go to sleep. Had a couple beers. I think I'm gonna have another one, and then I'm gonna crawl in the sack and finish telling you the story in the morning. But I wanted to tell you the main story while it was fresh in my mind, because it's just such an incredible disaster that could have completely been avoided had I just checked. I thought I checked the kickstand. I thought it wasn't sinking. But obviously this is a very well landscaped plot, and there's a mud hole down there that you can't see because I can't keep focus on here, but there's a mud hole down there. Probably because they're getting too much irrigation in here. Something, I don't know, it's not running off right, but yeah, so there's that. I think you'll be impressed with how awesome this spot is in the morning, because how exposed it is. It is very exposed, except at night when all the light is flooding out on the perimeter, you can't see back in here in the shadows. Which I want to cover that too. I want to cover that topic of, well, I think I covered it the other day on one of the stops at the Three Sisters. I briefly mentioned it about light. reflecting like. And anyway, I want to cover that more tomorrow, and you can see the destruction tomorrow too. Until then, you know, I saw this mud down here, and I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together and realize that there's sprinklers out here. Not just that, I chose not to put my tarp up for some strange ass reason. But luckily the sprinklers are just down here. I hope. And it appears that everybody is in bed. I wonder if anybody's going to look up here tomorrow. I wonder if anybody's even going to ever know I'm here. And you tell me if you could see me. And when I'm talking about that blue construction material straight ahead, I thought that may be somebody else camping down there this morning when I first got up, and then realized it was just construction. Looks like yeah, I don't know what they call it. Anyway, I don't see any trace of me up there. So isn't this a beautiful sunrise on a Monday morning? Just behind the Roman aqueduct. The ruins of the Roman aqueduct. I like the facade, and this was my stealth camping spot. Believe it or not, I am in the middle of this huge, there's a fancy neighborhood over here, almost fancy enough to be gated. It's got walls all around it. There's a United Methodist Church right over here, and this is my camp spot. But what's really unique about this is I've driven like the last 45 minutes to try to find this thing at night, and I got multiple stories to tell. The biggest is that this thing is so stealthy. Nobody sees me in here. I don't think anybody has seen me in this daylight. But it's really interesting at night. I can see everything, lights and all, and nobody can see me because there's so much light flooding in around me. I'm in the woods, and it's kind of like a two-way mirror effect. That's what I'm calling it. Is it bounces, it reflects so much light off of the foliage and the trees that all you see is the trees, the bushes, the landscaping. You don't see in the shadows. You can't. And I proclaim that there's a possibility that you might even be able to start a fire up here in a place like this where there's so much light beaming down that nobody can see the fire behind it, because the fire is a fraction of what the reflected light coming off of the landscape. But the biggest story I've got, which is kind of why all this stuff is scattered all over the place. Well, not that I'm very neat on a regular basis, but I came in here. I had this, idea of how to get in here without being seen, because there was a lot of traffic last night, and it was close to 8:39 when I got here. So I came in this way, just hopped up on the parking lot, or hopped up on the sidewalk, came up the grass, killed it, walked up here to make sure there was no holes, no, nothing muddy, nothing. And there is mud down here, but that's a different story. But I got off the bike, walked up here real quick, make sure this was my spot, found some nice trees. These two trees are perfect for my hang. And I decided this is where I was going to go. I was going to take these two trees right here, park my motorcycle behind it, throw the tarp up, and nobody could see me day or night. At least that's what I thought at the time. So I got up here, zoomed up. Bob's your uncle. Everything's working fine. come in on a motorcycle, kickstand down, test the kickstand, everything's fine. Get off the motorcycle. I think I can't remember what I was thinking in my head, but I think I had the motorcycle like this, actually. And about that time, kickstand went through the ground, so I think it was initially right here. So I found the soft spot, even though it looks fine now, almost in the same spot. So the motorcycle's like this, and I try to catch the motorcycle as it's going down. Now, I'm already off the bike, but I try to catch it. And this is what happens. It scraped some skin off. Man, I'm just bleeding like a stuck pig. So I packed a napkin on there and then started tearing stuff off the bike so I could get it up, which was another pain. I couldn't get it up because it's laying upside down on top of the kickstand. All that weight, even with the weight off the bike, this is like 600 pounds, 650, something like that. I don't know. And all this time I'm thinking, okay, I'm spilling gas. I've got gas flowing all over my gear. And, what do I do? And I just couldn't think of anything. So I just basically took all the gear off. I mean, as fast as I could, just slung all the gear off. And then picked it up to see I picked it up on the case. So it's laying on this case and kind of spinning on the side stand. So finally, basically, it started spinning a little bit. So I spun it and then pushed it forward, pulled the side stand out, and then I was able to lift it up. So yeah, that side stand really gets in the way. It's a hell of a lever working against you. And the only other thing that I can see damage wise is this thing popped out, but it looks like it'll pop right back in. I'm gonna clean that mud out. Yeah, that thing is gonna pop right back in. Bob's your uncle, baby. I'm back in business. Stop by next time. We're gonna hunt gator in the Atchafalaya swamp on a motorcycle. You don't want to miss that. Also gonna take you across the shortest ferry ride in the world. See you next time.